we are going to be talking about inferencing. Has anyone heard of inferencing?
Me.
No? So inferencing is when, what we're going to do is we're going to take what we read from this book and we're going to draw conclusions about it. So sometimes authors don't give us every detail, but we can take what we've read and we can kind of...
You want to get it onto the paper so they know.
No, that's okay.
You're like, we can draw.
We're not going to actually draw. When I say draw conclusions, I mean we're going to read the text and then we're going to say like what we think might happen, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do with this book. This book is called Penguin Chick, and it's by Betty Tatham and illustrated by Helen K. Davey. So what do you notice about this cover? Yes.
There is kind of like a baby penguin, and there's a mom and a dad, but then it's almost
Exactly.
from the baby penguin. It came from her mom from an egg to a penguin.
Right. Yeah. So
Chick.
yeah. So it's called Penguin Chick, and we know that Chick is a baby penguin. So we can kind of assume that these are the chick's parents, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
Okay.
standing and staring at it.
Mhm. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Penguin Chick. Okay. Voice level 0 impression. A fierce wind howls. It whips snow across the ice. Here, a female emperor penguin has just laid an egg. It is the only egg she will lay this year. Most birds build nests for their eggs, but on the ice in Antarctica, there are no twigs or leaves. There is no grass or mud, nothing to build a nest with, nothing but snow and ice.
Interesting.
The new penguin father uses his beak to scoop the egg onto his webbed feet. He tucks it under his feather-covered skin into a special place called a brood patch. The egg will be as snug and warm there as if it were in a sleeping bag. So this word brood patch, that's probably a new word, right, for everybody?
Right.
So that is where he's holding the egg to keep it warm.
Nice.
Because where are they, did the book say?
I don't know.
Antarctica, yeah. And is it warm there?
No.
No. One of the penguin parents must stay with the egg to keep it warm. But where the penguins lay their eggs, there is no food for them to eat. The penguin father is bigger and fatter than the mother. He can live longer without food. So the father penguin stays with the egg while the mother travels to the sea to find food. The two parents sing together before the mother penguin leaves. So why does the mother penguin have to leave?
Get some food.
Because
Get
she's,
some
like, more
food.
flexible.
To get food, right? And who's going to stay with the chick?
Daddy.
Daddy.
Because he's more strong.
He's bigger.
He's bigger and fatter. So what does that mean? If he's bigger and fatter, that means,
He can
yes.
handle
He's like, he's kind of stronger and he can.
Right, yeah.
like, if
He can hold more food. He can last longer without food, right?
Mhm.
So that's why he's going to stay and the mother penguin's going to go.
An animal can just go into his belly.
All right.
So fat.
Along with many other penguins, the mother penguin leaves the rookery where she laid her egg. The mother walks or slides on her belly. This is called tobogganing. She uses her flippers and webbed feet to push herself forward over ice and snow.
Like steering.
That
They
was
do-
kind of a
they
silly
do
word,
that?
tobogganing. Can everyone say tobogganing?
Tobogganing.
That's a big word. And so that just means that's when she goes on her stomach and slides down.
Yeet.
That's tobogganing.
I do that every day.
Because it's winter in Antarctica, water near the shore is frozen for many miles. After 3 days, the mother penguin comes to the end of the ice. She dives into the water to hunt for fish, squid, and tiny shrimp-like creatures called krill.
Wait, is that squid?
It's like swimming.
Fish, squid,
Fish,
about the biggest
squid,
squid?
and krill.
That's krill. Is the biggest squid?
Krill, they said it's like a shrimp-like creature.
A shrimp. You eat shrimps.
Mhm.
I eat krill, and I hate them. They're disgusting.
penguin fathers form a group called a huddle. They stand close together for warmth. Each one keeps his own egg warm. For 2 months, the penguin father always keeps his egg on his feet. When he walks, he shuffles his feet so the egg doesn't roll away. He sleeps standing up. He has no food to eat, but the fat on his body keeps him alive. So they said that the father penguins are in a huddle. Have you guys ever been in a huddle?
No.
Yeah.
Close
Circle,
together.
and then there's a whole bunch
of people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's try it. Let's try like the father penguins to get in a huddle.
And they're boy penguins.
But we're gonna stand. See how they're standing? This is what we're gonna do.
But they
So if they were all in a huddle together, do you think that would keep them warm rather than being far apart?
Well, yeah, because they all have a lot of fur.
Because the air doesn't travel through. First of all,
It doesn't
Alright,
travel
perhaps
through
the
them 'cause
middle,
they're not
the middle,
ghosts.
the middle
It just
of.
travels around them.
Okay, the penguin that's in the middle of it would be the warmest.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the air
Exactly.
has a hard
Yeah,
time
because
traveling.
there's
Yeah, so
fur.
that's what they're doing. They're trying to keep warm.
The only food we have is skin.
All right, let's do a voice
Yeah.
level 0.
It's, facial.
Finally, he feels the chick move inside the egg. The chick pecks and pecks and pecks. In about 3 days, the egg cracks open.
3 days to peck.
The chick is wet, but soon his soft feathers, called down, dry and become fluffy and gray. The father still keeps the chick warm in the brood patch. Sometimes the chick pokes his head out, but while he's so little, he must stay covered, and he must stay on his father's feet. Otherwise, the cold would kill him. The father talks to the chick in his trumpet voice. The chick answers with a whistle. So on this page, it says that the father still keeps the chick warm in the brood patch. So did we already hear that
Yeah.
in the beginning, right?
But with the egg.
With the egg, right? So, and what was the point of that brood patch?
That they
To
all
keep
keep
it
their
warm so the
eggs
egg
warm.
didn't float.
Exactly.
And for the chicken to not freeze.
Exactly.
And
And then at the end of this page, it says the father talks to the chick in his trumpet voice. Can I have all eyes on me?
Eyes on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it says in his trumpet voice. So when we
It's like a deep
talk
voice.
to babies or our pets, do we sometimes use a different voice?
Yeah.
We do, right?
Sometimes when people talk to their babies, they use like a baby voice.
Yeah, right? And so do you think that's kind of similar to what the father penguin's doing?
Yeah.
I agree. All right, let's keep going. The father's trumpet call echoes across the ice. The penguin mother is on her way back to the rookery, but she can't hear him. She's still too far away. If the mother doesn't come back soon with food, the chick will die. 2 days pass before the mother can hear the father penguin's call. At last, the mother arrives at the rookery. She cuddles close to her chick and trumpets to him. He whistles back. With her beak, she brushes his soft gray down. So it says she brushes his soft gray down.
Gray is his hair.
And what's
chest.
down?
Down.
Yes.
Down
The
is
direction.
me, like it's going like down has got a couple of words like it's going like let's say there's a bug and it's going all the way down.
Right, so kind of like a direction.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Like
Yeah.
like
the
a
direction.
dog. The chick has chest.
So I agree with you that down is a direction. In the book, a couple pages back, it also said that the chick's fur was called down. That's what they call it. So when they say it, they're actually talking about the chick's fur and not the direction.
Nice.
The direction.
All right, eyes on me.
I got you.
Thank you. The mother swallowed many fish before she left the ocean. She brings some of this food back up from her stomach and feeds her chick. She has enough food to keep him fed for weeks. He stays on her feet and snuggles into her brood patch. So now that the mother penguin is back, and the father penguin doesn't have to watch the chick anymore by himself, where do you think the father penguin might go?
Go get food.
Right. So, how long has it been? Does anyone remember
2
how
days.
long it's been?
2 days.
Alex?
2 days.
82.
It's been
It's
a
actually
little
been 5.
longer than 2
It's been
days.
5 days.
10,
5.
days.
It's actually been 2 months since the father penguin has gotten to eat. That's a long time. So I agree with you that he's probably gonna go get some food now.
For himself, not anyone else.
Yeah, for himself. The father is very hungry, so he travels to open water. There he dives to hunt for food. Weeks later, the father returns with more food for the chick. So he just said that, or the book said that the father went to go get food, so you guys were right. So
For
what
himself.
you just did was make an inference. So you used what we have already read,
And then we put it
and
in
you
And then we
predicted
put it
what was
in
going
our
to happen.
brain.
So we just looked at
Exactly.
pictures, kind of. Or
But then the dad comes back, of course,
Mhm.
because
And then he throws it out.
no, he
And then the fish does.
he
Dude, you're
um
gonna be too dark.
he sees the chicken.
Alright, eyes on me.
I got you.
Thank you.
Almost the end.
Each day, the parents preen or brush the chick's downy coat with their beaks. This keeps the down fluffy and keeps the chick warm.
It does not.
As the chick gets bigger, he and the other chicks no longer need to stay warm on their parents' feet. Instead, they stay together to keep warm. This group of chicks is called a creche or a nursery. The chick now spends most of his time here, but he still rushes to his mother or father to be fed when either one comes back from the ocean. Sometimes the chick and the other young penguins dig their beaks into the ice to help them walk up a slippery hill. They toboggan down fast on their fluffy bellies.
Because it's
Okay.
just fun.
This is what I need everyone to do. I need you to stop and think about that word toboggan.
That was
I
in a
think that we have already heard it in the book. So, can you guys show me what tobogganing is?
It's like this,
Can
and
we
you
act
go
it out?
forwards, and you put your hands out so you can like steer.
And we can use the picture too, but can I see that from somebody?
If I was little,
Awesome.
'Cause I've done
Yeah,
this
so that's tobogganing.
I've really literally done this on the ice.
Awesome. Sometimes you do it too, right? Alright, we can sit back up now.
But instead, I did it on ice because it was a huge ice thing.
Eyes on you. Eyes on me with a voice level 0, please. Sitting up. Thank you.
That's not a joke.
The chick grows and grows. After 5 months, he has grown into a junior penguin. He is old enough to travel to the ocean. Now he has a waterproof coat of feathers instead of a fluffy down. He can swim in the icy cold ocean because his feathers keep him dry and warm. Okay, so what I want you to do is, yes,
So the fur's pretty much almost like a towel, except
yeah,
it doesn't really come on.
yeah.
So it
I
absorbs
agree.
water, it doesn't keep water out of it.
That's
Like
pretty
a
cool.
swishy chocolate.
So I want you to look at these 2 pages. So on this page it says the chick grows and grows. I'm gonna ask you, does a penguin chick grow fast or grow slow? I want you to think about it.
Wait.
Fast.
And how do you know that? What on this page tells us? So I want you to raise your hand if you know. Blake, what on this page can tell you that the penguin is growing fast?
Because it says winter, spring, summer.
Yes.
September, October,
Exactly.
November,
So we have
December,
this
January.
little timeline, right?
It's like a calendar.
And that's only what? August, September, October, November,
1,
December.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
6 months. And
Because
look how much penguin
for
grows.
animals that aren't us, it takes about a month for them to get as big as
Exactly. Isaac, will you do me a favor and press that button?
This
Yeah.
one?
Thank you. Okay. Over here, please. Yes, Isaac.
It doesn't take that long for them to grow. It only takes 6 months for them,
Yeah.
and it takes us a
12
whole,
months.
like a lot of year. It takes 1
Yeah.
year to get one more age.
I agree. I definitely think that penguins grow faster than humans.
No, the age is every single thing of the age is how long it lives, which is 12 months. A year is one year for everything, but they go faster than us.
Right. Oh,
So about a year is
Let's
2
keep
inches for
going
us.
here.
About a year for them is like 6.
The young penguin spends most of his time in the water. He swims, flapping his flippers as if he were flying underwater. He uses his webbed feet to steer wherever he wants to go. He catches a fish with his beak and swallows it head first.
That looks weird, doesn't it?
Now the young penguin can catch his own food and take care of himself. In about 5 years, he'll find a mate. Then he'll take care of his own egg until the chick can hatch.
And then a new life cycle.
And that is the end of our story. Yeah, Isaac, you have a question?
So pretty much, the reason why it's almost like a boat when he's swimming, except it doesn't turn. And the reason why they do head first is because the head is the part where, is the most part that needs to be protected, and then they go from head first, because if they do it from the back part, a little part and they only get a little part from the back, then they could still be swimming. So that's why they do it from the head, because they can get a better chance of getting it big, because the tail is more small.
It's more aerodynamic.
I like that idea. All right.
The tail, they don't have. Well, they have
Fish.
bobcat fish.
Yeah. Okay, so we heard some new vocabulary in this book. Does anyone remember what one of our vocab words was?
I forgot.
Whistle.
Yeah, the chick whistled. Remember when the mother penguin and father penguin would
Steer.
trumpet? The
Steer.
penguin would whistle back.
Steer.
That's right.
Steer.
Yeah, steer.
Hey.
That's okay. Isaac?
Webbed.
Yep. So what was that word that we acted out? Does anyone remember? Isaac?
Toboggan.
Toboggan. Yes. And where did that chick egg have to go when his father was keeping it warm? Does anyone remember that word? It was actually 2 words.
Patch.
What was that first word? Something patch. Isaac, do you remember the first word?
What?
For where the egg had to stay to keep warm?
Chick? Oh,
Brood patch. Yeah, Alex, that was close. Yeah, so that's where, and why did they have to keep the egg warm? Where do they live?
Because it would freeze and then the thing would never open. It would just crack.
It would die inside the egg.
Right, yeah. And does anyone remember what penguins eat? Yes.
Sea fish.
Yeah, so they eat fish. That was one of them. Alex?
Squid and
Squid. This was a new word too. Kira, do you remember? Krill. Yeah. Awesome.
I've heard of krill before.
Okay, so we made, does anyone remember what we made using the text from the book? What did we make? Does anyone remember what that word was that I mentioned in the beginning? Alex?
Conclusion?
Not conclusion. We were going to draw conclusions based on what we read. I'll give you a hint.
Information.
I said
Inference.
Inference.
Inference. And does anyone, so what was an inference that we made in this book? Does anyone remember? I'll go to the page that we made it on. It was this page.
One where he was doing
Oh yes.
Isaac, do you remember?
the inference is,
So the mother penguin had just come back.
and the inference is where the place where the egg first hatched.
So when the
No.
mother came back, we inferenced what about the father penguin? Addie?
The father penguin went to see the other fathers because the mom, she came back and because she got food. Then it's dad's turn to get the food. Then the babies, he grew and grew. Dad,
He needed some food.
Yeah.
So we took what we read from our book and we inferenced we made an inference that the father penguin was going to go get food because the mother returned, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What was your favorite part of the book?
Oh.
Addie.
The one, the baby was who,
When they were tobogganing?
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Isaac?
Part where the part where when you're reading it when we saw him growing, that was
Mhm.
actually pretty interesting.
That was my favorite part too. Alex, do you have one?
With the same page as him.
Same thing? Yeah, I like that too. It's interesting to see how they grow, right? Because it's so different than us.
But it didn't have my March book.
Okay, well that's all I have for this lesson. Thank you for helping me.